Yes.
Yeah, I can hear,
Yeah.
but
Hello, guys. It's kind of breaking up for us, at least on my end.
yeah, the audio is a little off. I was wondering if like Shruti could also turn on her mic as well as Tori's, if that's possible. So then, like, we'll be getting some um like audio from Shruti and Tori at the same time.
Yeah, that'll cause really bad feedback.
I can try turning it on. Can you guys hear me? Ah, shoot, I forgot about that.
When your audio's on, it's more clear for us. When you're speaking, but like when Tori's is on, like we can barely hear you, and it cuts in and out.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Nobody wants to. Okay, try again. Just start talking again. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me better?
Yes.
That's much better.
Oh, wait. Speaker use. Shut down. Okay, no one unmuted. You guys hear better
Hello.
now?
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear just much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Sure. No
Sure,
problem.
no problem.
If everyone
If everyone
here.
here.
Okay.
Okay, if all clients were people could join in on the WebEx call and yes, the musical theater club. I believe that there was a WebEx link also sent to you. Yes. If you could real quick join that, and whenever we end up having you guys speak, if you could unmute real quick, that'll make the process easier because half of the people are online right now and half the people are here.
Got it.
Is that so? We also like once we get the musical theater club, just so we're not wasting your time, this needs to be figured out because this is not something that's going to be feasible every single meeting. Okay. Just to be clear, like this, we need to figure out this system. Because roaming on WebEx and meeting and that meeting and that meeting and whatever else is going to be feasible long term. Okay. No problem. I did switch some settings up, so if you are in the WebEx call, can you hear Shruti any better? Because no one has given any feedback, and I've asked a couple times.
I just unmuted again. So based off of this, can y'all hear me?
Well, I switched the settings on the
Oh, sorry.
microphone. Oh, sorry. Or even get a confirmation in the chat. I know someone needed. Yes, okay. So Devin, is it better now with this?
Yeah, it's getting better.
Sure,
I think
yes.
it's just getting used to it. It's kind of like going on and off, but for
See,
now.
Devin's getting it.
It should be good. They said it was better.
Can we hear them?
It should be coming out of the speaker, but I don't know why. Let's try coming out of. Devin, can you say something again?
Hello. Hello.
See if that's any better. See if that's any better. That might sound better. I think better. I think better. I think better. I think better. So,
Okay, can we just like ignore the idea of the microphone for like today?
Yeah.
And just like individually of me, but I can have the like, oh wait, if anyone says anything else.
you can't just like, is it, I don't know like the system, but like if we all joined and like have it muted, that's the speaker.
Yeah.
Okay, I have. What I wanted to do.
So we have some people who are part of like confirmations, like doing confirmation studies. We have 2 people for confirmations online as well as a few like. And also, I'm guessing if you want to do more. So.
I linked to the speed, this specifically, this has its own mic, it's supposed to be a microphone that is picking up everything. So,
So can I turn this volume back on and then mute myself and try to do it? Whatever.
yeah, try to turn that volume back on.
Okay. Devin or anyone?
It's picking you up through. I don't understand, oh, because it's. Turn your volume on.
Is this working? Can anyone from WebEx again, please say something?
Yeah, we can hear you. Sorry, I just rejoined.
So,
Did someone say something?
so they did. Honestly, we're gonna need to use the PC moving forward versus your laptop. But
Last time, that's a really.
we are where we are and we're already like 15-20 minutes past where we're supposed to be. So there needs to be like some type of compromise for this, whether it's just one laptop in the middle. The most important thing is that people on the call can hear and we them if we have to move to so they can hear us, that's fine. But we're already wasted like 20 minutes. So if this is also something that Senate has figured, you all need to meet with Senate and know what they're doing so that we can just, this is not something that we should be doing every meeting. This should be set up ready for this or moving forward. So we should probably just go off of one of the computers. And just
Should like having on the creation screen, it will stretch further, so. I got you.
I can join from my computer. So it'll just get up whoever's talking this.
It's just. Yeah, I mean, whatever we say will get repeated. And we have to hear.
We just turn it down. Yeah, just turn it down when we speak and then turn it up. If you can.
Okay, I mean, you can try.
Devin, can you speak again?
Testing,
someone?
testing.
Perfect. Can you all hear?
Yes.
But now, if anyone cannot hear Shruti, please put that in the chat, but we should be okay.
Okay. Thank you. Moving forward, are there any? Okay, are there any motions on the floor maybe to approve the agenda? Any objections? Hearing or seeing no objections, we can approve the agenda for today. Moving on to the meeting minutes, play that up real quick. Just gonna scroll through it. If you see anything that needs to be changed, I can stop, but. Are there any motions on the floor, maybe to approve the meeting minutes from last meeting? I move to approve.
Second.
Any objections? Hearing or seeing no objections, we can, or the meeting minutes from September 28th have been approved. Moving on to our new business, our. And read through it,
Devin made a motion. You said in the chat though.
the meeting.
And the minutes, yeah, he said, the motions to amend the same from Devin I into Devin. I second.
Are there any objections? I'm just gonna change it. And the difference between just three motions to approve the meeting minutes as amended. So are there any motions for that? Thank you. Hearing no objections, the meeting minutes from September 28th have been approved. And moving on to the confirmation, just gonna go through and read the real quick, but so JL 09/21/22, the author is Marshad Demon, sponsors are Wendy Zing as well as me. And the date of introduction was yesterday, 10/4/21. This is the confirmation of Danielle Wilson as election board member. Whereas the nominating committee has the responsibility to nominate an election board member who must be confirmed with the passage of joint legislation. Whereas the nominating committee fully vetted the candidate with 6 yes votes, 0 no votes, 0 abstain votes, 0 absent votes. Whereas the appointment of election board member must be confirmed by the Senate and Finance Board by 2/3 majority vote of both legislative bodies, as stipulated in that sheet. Receiving an annual. Makes sense. Okay, yeah, are we comfortable?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Could you just quickly introduce yourself, so just name, pronouns, major, probably just retire, in this position.
Okay, sorry, I missed the end of what you said. You said why I'm interested in this position, correct? I think it cut out, but I'm just gonna start. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Yeah, has the caution sign. But my name is Danielle Wilson. I'm a current I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, but I'll just start speaking. My name is Danielle Wilson. I'm a current junior. Oh, you can? Okay, cool. I'm a current junior biochemistry major. My pronouns are she, hers, and her. Was I supposed to say why I'm interested in the position? I'm sorry, I missed the last part. Oh, okay. For like, I guess the past 2 years or so, especially like being within the pandemic and as like the social climate has been changing, I've kind of grown to understand the importance of like student voice and I guess students having a say in the affairs that are going on around them, whether that's like locally within their school or just like on a broader spectrum as well. So being a part of the election board kind of felt like an opportunity to work closely with students that were trying to essentially do that exact thing. I guess kind of have some type of say in student voice and have some type of say in the things that are impacting them. So being an election board member meant that I got to work closely, or not, meant that I got to work with these individuals that were interested in doing that, and that was something that really stood out to me. So that was why I was interested in applying for the position. Hopefully that came through. Great.
Huh?
Little arrow down there to see. Little arrow. Yeah.
Motion to move into a period of questioning.
Any objections? Hearing no objections, we move to period of questioning. So, Danielle, this is basically where finance board members are able to ask questions to you. So if any finance members have questions, you can say me, you can raise your hand, or I can just call on you.
Hi Daniel. Is there like anything that like you are planning on doing differently this year as a member of the election board?
Yeah, so hopefully you can still hear me. So I actually have not attended a previous election in the past, so I'm not exactly, well, I've been told like a good amount of things about how it's worked, but I haven't been told like specific details about how it went in the past, so I'm not really sure if this idea would be necessarily changing anything. But I think that like well, that's a good point that I think I brought up, the point that like I didn't really know what was happening with elections in my previous years on campus. So something that I would hope to do differently this year is maybe spread the word of it a little bit more, because I think like elections are an important time because you have individuals or students that get to vote on like people that are going to have a say for themselves on campus. But if you don't really like know much about that or really know how SGA works, it's really hard to participate in that election process to begin with. So I guess just kind of telling my peers more about it or kind of somehow participating and getting the word out there a lot more than it might have been gotten out there before. Not that it wasn't, but yeah, so I would say that's something that I want to do differently this year. Oh, and also I think maybe increase the amount of candidate interaction with like the general student body, because I think that if candidates actually got to talk directly to students a lot more, then that would also probably get students more involved in things that are happening around them that they might not be aware of. So that's not to say that this hasn't happened in the past, but that's something that I would want to participate in.
Thank you.
Okay, I think someone asked in the chat if I've had a position like this before, or do I have any experience where I use leadership to spread a message? Yeah, so I think that a lot of the things I wanted to do obviously got messed up because of COVID. But prior to COVID, I was the president of the community council for the resident hall in which I lived. And even though I guess that's on a much smaller scale than SGA, we kind of had to like listen to what our residents were like saying and feedback that they were giving us based on events or just things taking place in that resident hall in general, and like apply that to future events or apply that to like solving and fixing issues that they might have had. So I feel like even though I wasn't necessarily spreading as big of a message that you might be able to spread with SGA, taking in like student feedback and student input and then like turning that around and trying to make solutions to that, I feel like in a way that could be spreading some sort of message. So I guess that's something where I've used my leadership to take feedback and use that to promote my own message based on that also got the input of others around me. That makes sense.
Okay, are there any more questions? If there aren't, then we can move into your discussion. Is there any motions on the floor? Discussion. So again, Danielle, for context, we're just discussing based off of everything that we know and have learned about you through this process. So you can always see me in the chat or raise your hand if you're interested.
I think that Daniel is a really good candidate for the election board, although I may not know her. I think she has a lot to offer within the board, so I think we should vote her in.
I agree with Umar. I think she's very excited and looking forward to working with us and positive change from to the
There are no other points that you want to make. If there are no other points that you want to make, we can move to period of voting if there are any questions.
I motion to move into period of voting. I move to.
Any seconds? Any objections? Here's the objection to move into the period of voting. So so for all the finance boards on WebEx, just say I if you think that Danielle should be confirmed for the position of election board member. They if not want to end for people in person, just like raise your hand. Yes, and then just don't do anything for now.
Aye.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Hira? Perfect. So, I close. Also, Kaya, could you like vote, please? Well, at this point, I'm just going to count for abstaining with me. I don't mind. Okay, so that's 8 for.
You said that. You said that.
Yeah, so 8 for 0. Opposed, 1 abstaining, 0 not present, and today is 5 1. And congratulations, Danielle, you've been. I just need to pull up the oath of office and
That you don't do that. I don't think it's the stone percent yet.
oh,
It
yeah,
happens to
I
pass.
guess don't think when he signed it yet.
But I don't know if you do an oath of office for election board.
I do for chair, so
Board is in chair different. Let me double check.
okay.
I don't remember doing it in the past, but I could.
If that's the piece, could you just like send me the box for the drive?
What?
Could you send me the oath of office?
Sure, but I don't think we did it in the past either, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, like 90% positive that it's
Yeah.
only for like
Okay.
other positions, but I just texted, she's texting me back.
Fine.
She said yes, but I'm also a little concerned that Wendy never signed this, so.
Yes.
You can do the oath, but Senate needs to sign this.
Yeah. I'll text Wendy after this.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I'm not. Successful.
Email to me.
It's just up on here. Just don't say chair on Instagram.
Jill, pull it up. Oh, actually, I just pulled it up. Okay, perfect. So Daniel has like repeat after me, but so I do solemnly affirm
Oh, I do solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of election board member
the office of election board member,
of the UMBC Student Government Association,
UMBC Student Government Association,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
promote and defend
promote and defend
the interests and well-being
the interests and well-being
of UMBC's undergraduate students.
of UMBC's undergraduate students.
Hey, congratulations.
Thanks, everyone.
So,
Sure.
Okay. Perfect. So the next thing on our business for our agenda is the Sahas request that Musical Theater Club submitted for their Musical Theater Club showcase. So I'm just gonna pull up everything real quick. And while we do that, does anyone in the period of discussion? Any objections? Here's any objections? We can do discussion about this. Okay. So based on everything that anyone has read or seen with this application, do we want us to, is there anything to start the discussion? And if you do, just say mute chat or go ahead, Mark.
I don't see anything wrong with their applications. They're in their limit, given how much money they are asking for. They're in their correct amount of days and to submit. I like still being new. I'm not sure how like the audio visual for that money and stuff works, but I think our end, like I think we're fine to like approve it because everything was I think everything.
You want to interject real quick? No, typically we start here. Asking who they are. Introductions. So if you all would mind introducing yourselves, name, pronouns, if you're comfortable with that, what your position is with Musical Theater Club.
I mean,
They should be able to pick you up.
okay.
I think we fixed that.
My name's Max. He, him pronouns. I'm the treasurer.
My name's Martin McCready. I use any pronouns and I am the vice president. I'm Richie. Is he his pronoun?
And then we have Kayla and Chad. They are PR manager.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then if you're a voting member of the finance board and you just do the same thing, name pronouns. Mine actually. Bill Dene, she writes.
Shruti and she.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay, so, based off of that, is there anything else?
Yeah, like I was just gonna go off of what Connie said. I think the application, a decent and really good application, same as the bill. So. I don't see any problem on it, and so.
Yeah.
Sorry. I actually had a quick. Sorry, I had a quick question. Has this been funded in the past? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I also have another question, but, so when it's been funded in the past, has it been to the scale or has it been small?
We've been showcased for about over 10 years at this point. Usually it's always been around 3,000 to 4,000 as our request. Usually we're able to do it in the spring. To request funds in the spring. I believe our funds are is like a bit higher than usual because of we're not allowed to buy or order microphones at a smaller scale because of COVID regulations. I believe that is the reason why ours is a bit higher. But other than that, this is about the standard.
Thank you for clarifying that.
So just for the board's knowledge, this all looks great. All you have is CSVs, which I'm sure if you've done this before, you know what that means. The documentation in there, Shruti, would you pull that up? This is what an ECS form looks like. Sometimes it's in color a little bit too, but if it is something that has gone through ECS to this state, it is good for the risk assessment. I know that was a question that was brought up previously of do we need to double check risk assessment? If it's this far, and ECS is giving numbers, then they wouldn't do that just for their health. So this is what like ECS fees is on. Everything that they're asking for on this form is what is required from ECS for them to be able to have their event. Does that make sense? So nothing on here is like things that they have decided to like change or whatever, but based on what they want to do with the event, this is what ECS says needs to happen for it to happen. So just because I feel like we haven't seen one of these forms, just kind of explaining like what we're looking at. So staffing for the event, ticketing staff is on here, the rentals for the room, setting it up, the lighting, all of that stuff is what's on there, and that's what's needed for the event to happen.
So I have another quick question, but here for the subtotal it says 3920, and it report the number on the number is 2620. Or 3620. Is that a typo or?
The 36 to 39 is marketing. The 300.
So that's not okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Here's a total.
I move to enter a period of voting for this conference.
Second.
If you're seeing no objections, we can move to period of voting on this request. The legislation real quick.
$39, $20, $50.
So, based on everything we've heard, if you think that, okay, wait, actually, we need to amend this. I am stupid. Are there any motions to amend the? Actions? based off of this, are there, or if you believe the musical theater floats, request for 3920 and 50 signs to be approved, and say aye in the chat. For all the WebEx people who are here, just raise your hand, please. And if no, then don't raise your hand here and say no in the chat. So it's all 5 of us here. So in the chat. So definitely, I see you raising your hand. I'm still waiting for Fiona and Fiona has a thumbs up, and Aya. Aya, do we have a vote from you? Did someone put a text on?
Our vote doesn't impact, right?
It doesn't. Should we just keep it as abstaining?
Yep.
Or not present? Okay, at this point, I'm just going to restate that 0, 2 abstaining, present, and 10. 1. Great. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. For being patient.
Yeah. And
Congrats, Neil.
be patient with us through this process. It's been a bit. Thank you so much. Okay.
So typically someone would walk them out and explain next steps as far as like who to contact, res gaps. So what that knowledge do.
I believe technically Fiona is
In the meeting, so in an in-person meeting, we want them to know what to do next step, so they're not waiting on anything. So typically we would have papers in here and someone and whoever's sitting in where Rahman is will typically walk out with them saying like, you should get an email. The next steps are meeting with David Royer. If you've all done this before, I'm sure you're kind of familiar with it. If you're previous leaders, res gaps need to be filled out, where to find res gaps, that type of stuff. So making sure that Musical Theater Club is walking out knowing what the next steps are and not like waiting to hear. So.
I can walk you off.
Thank you. Yeah, so res gap is a form that all orgs have to fill out. You would write David Royer as your advisor on a res gap. That's for the whole room to hear, so you all know how to let them do that. What they're doing is they're filling out, essentially it's the paperwork, so the state knows where money's going. So they fill out the paperwork. David Royer's their advisor listed on there because he's the one officially spending the money for all of the orgs. And it's paperwork that gets sent into him, so he knows it's like an approval to send the money. So I believe Aya has to sign a res gap. Somebody has to sign a res gap from SGA. I just can't remember who on the executive board.
They put that out before the movie do.
Yes. There should be res gaps in the SGA office. They're also online. Probably, yeah.
Okay, moving on to our next agenda item, we have the presentation of and legislation real quick and read through that, and then we can do Britta will have you introduce yourself. So this is JL 08-2162. The author is Michelle Devon, sponsors are Wendy, Zane, as well as me, and David Melcher was yesterday, 10/4/21. This is their confirmation of reality as election board member, whereas the nominating committee has the responsibility to nominate an election board member who must be concurrent with the passage of the joint legislation, whereas the nominating committee fully vetted the candidate with 6 yes votes, 0 no votes, 0 abstain votes, and 0 absent votes. And whereas the appointment of an election board member must be confirmed by the Senate if it is by a 2/3 majority vote of both legislative bodies. as stipulated in the SGA bylaws. Therefore, be it resolved that the Senate and Finance Board confirm Brenda Ali to the position of election board member during the 2021 to 2022 academic year, receiving an annual stipend of $690. Perfect. Okay, Brenda, can you go, if you're comfortable, please turn on your camera and just, introduce yourself, so just like name, pronouns, major, and just why you're interested, in the election.
Yes. Hi. My name is Rida Ali. I am a biology major, IS minor, and I'm a senior at UMBC. And I would, yes, I would like to be a part of, as an election board member of SGA, because I would like to contribute to the SGA in whatever capacity I can in my senior year. And SGA does a lot of good work, and I feel like I would really like to contribute and give back in whatever way I can.
Okay. Are there any motions to go to a period of discussion? Or is that questioning? Sorry.
To move to.
I second.
Objections? Anything, no objections, we can go to period of questioning. Webex people, if you have any questions, raise your hand. Devin, your hand is still up for, I'm guessing, voting. But just to let you know, but if you're, if anyone has any questions, you can raise your hand.
Hello?
Sorry,
What was the name again?
Brenda.
Rita.
Hi Rita. What
Yes,
kind of
hi.
experiences do you have
So
that
I've
you
been a
would like
part,
to contribute as a member of the election board this year?
yes. I've been a part of MSA Executive Board for 3 years now, and I have experience involved in an organization, and I would like to, so do you want me to tell you like a vision, sort of something that I would like to, some ideas that I have? Is that what the question is?
The question was like, what kind of experiences do you have that you think like would
That
be
might
useful
help in
to
this
you?
position? Yeah, so what kind of experiences I have that might help in this position? So yes, I've been me being a part of the MSA Executive Board for 3 years has given me some experiences that I is like the biggest experience I have that I would like to use to contribute to SG as an election board member, and raise awareness about elections and advertisement, social media. So yeah.
Okay, so my biggest concern, Rita, is your schedule for the spring. You mentioned you're a bio major and you've got a lot going on for you. So how do you plan on balancing this position with everything else?
Um, I think next semester, since the bulk of the election board member work is in the spring, and I will be taking lighter courses, then since it should be my last semester, so I think it would be manageable for me to balance this position, just like how I've been balancing my executive board for the last 3 years, given whatever sophomore, junior tough courses I've taken. I make it a point to make time for my responsibilities, and it should not be an issue balancing it.
Period of discussion.
Second.
Any objections? Here's a note. Seeing no objections, we move to a period of discussion. Give anything to add, just raise your hand or say me in the chat.
I like agree with everything. I don't like to like. There's nothing like wrong with it. And I also, if no one else has anything to say, I also would say Turkey.
If
I said.
any objections? Here's no objections, you can move with your voting. If you want to confirm or not as election board members, please say I in the chat. If not, nay in the chat. Honestly, to everyone, everyone's on the WebEx call, just do it all in the chat. Or also that works. So Evan, you're and Fiona and Aya.
And this is Aya and Bryce. I'm gonna like.
Okay, she's here.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So we have all 8 members, 0 opposed. I'm still abstaining. Wendy's not. And right now we'll just do a quick first of all, congratulations. We'll also do an oath of office and if you just repeat after me.
Thank you so much, everyone.
So I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
Oh, I'm.
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of election board member
the office of election board member
of the UMBC Student Government Association
of the UMBC Student Government Association
and will,
and will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
promote and defend
promote and defend
the interests and well-being
the interests and well-being
of UMBC's undergraduate students.
of UMBC's undergraduate students.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, moving on to our next agenda item. So basically, we had this conversation for about the October GBM, like just really shortly, and I wanted to make a meeting to discuss it yesterday, but we also did not have that much information in terms of like not many people being able to show up. So I just added it to the agenda today so that we can have some sort of like discussion about it. We'll come to it just some sort of like agreement about what's actually happening because communication about this is going on. So in the meeting, I believe that Fiona, Amina and Usman is also, I mean, obviously meeting a president. So in that, we had just a short discussion about like what we wanted. So in terms of the October GBM, the idea is that we want to do some sort of meet and greet of all SGA officers, and there's been communication sent out to all the paid SGA officers at this point, all the people on the payroll. And the idea is for as many SGA officers to come and be a part of this event. And we want to kind of create an incentive for people to show up, because at the end of the day, a regular meeting would not be very fun, especially if it's online over WebEx on a Friday evening. So from the initiatives fund, Rashad said that we are allowed to tap into around $200 and $300 of the amount. So based on that, do we have any ideas of what type of, yeah,
That was gonna be for virtual. Like, we need, like, oh, they get.
Yeah.
Incentives.
incentives? Yeah.
So we're just trying to come up with events to use the people.
No, we're trying to come up with an event that makes it more fun to meet and greet people. And then also have incentives. So one of the ideas for incentives that we're thinking about is like maybe having like $50 gift cards. So we'll present to a raffle every single person attends that's not like an SGA member. And then it just kind of like motivate people to want to show up and be a part of this event.
I was just like something like, then we buy stuff, we kind of all kind of stealing that from SD.
Wait, is this for the SGA members or not?
No.
So it's, the event is for non-SGA members. But, yeah, so the event is for non-SGA members, but SGA members are there, like to be meet and greeted. But, the idea is to increase like awareness within the student community of just like who we are and what we do. And it's just kind of a way for us to like be like, we exist. And for people to like understand that we exist. So we could do a raffle, we could do a game, like give it out whoever wins. That whatever. We do both. We do half of it raffle, half of it. Or maybe we could do like introductions and like quizzes about us on the booth.
I see it better now, but I like it.
if they were paying attention. Right, yeah, so like, so an idea had like similar to that, like I like that a lot, like honestly, like, cause if you pay attention, then you have more motivation to like pay attention and you're gonna get a prize if you learn type of thing. But, so then we do sort of along the line, okay, so wait, let me actually read what, Fiona said in the chat, but we were discussing yesterday about how since it's only an hour, we should try and keep things simple in terms of games and breakout rooms. Which I very much agree with, because if we get there and like, it's a mess in a pot, it's not gonna be fun for anyone. So, we can plan it as much as possible, but like having, I don't know how many people are planning on attending this meeting, because we still haven't been able to like do communication out, because this literally decided like a week ago. So we need to decide like within 5 days, or decide what's happening, and then hopefully get communication like starting to like ramp up probably by next week. Just so the communication team has time to look.
I think we should pick one activity to do. Because like assuming that only SGA people come, that's a lot of people. So I think we should just do either like we could do like Scribble IO, we could do like something like that where we just play games and like that way we get to know each other, just relaxed environment, but like I think this is a good idea. It just requires a lot of things before we can get to this.
That's right.
Isn't it cool? How many people do it as well? Okay.
And I would really want it to be Halloween themed. So it's around Halloween time. We don't have to make it Halloween themed. It's kind of something that is like it's around that time. But we can also just, it's kind of hard to do Halloween themed things virtually. Like there's only so much to like throw people's faces being Halloween themed. But it's honestly very much up to us what we want to do. And like okay.
Easy.
So an idea based off of that we could do is we could have like based off of whoever like RSVPCS to the event. I could go through all the SJ episodes and make them fill out like a really quick form to be like what's a fun fact about you that they'll mention during the introduction. Like we'll probably just go around the room, probably do like people just go around the room and just be like, we'll separate it like finance, reporting staff, and then set it, and then just be like, hey, introduce yourselves. And everyone introduces themselves and they like say like a really good like name, pronoun, fun fact sort of a thing, and then
the fun facts are
the fun fact is ones that you post out.
And who's playing it? Just non-UMBC?
So
Not actually.
yes, but my concern is everyone shows up.
Yeah,
I think everyone should be playing with the non-SGA.
Okay.
Like let's say like we all play and like the top people are 2 SGA option and a non, they would win and we would like, they get the prize to stay on the top. Right.
Yes, but what if all 5 people on the top?
Yeah.
You know,
Whatever is like close to the top who isn't SGA.
but we don't get to break it, we only get to see
The top.
I think there's more settings.
Yeah, you
like,
could have handled that.
Okay.
I think it last place.
Yeah.
You get to say last place, I get it. But I'm okay with that idea. What is everyone from one next thing?
Oh, wait. That's a good idea.
No, we're not trying to.
What is it?
Unfortunately.
I don't watch good games.
Go for it.
I can't.
Spoil it, guys.
No, no. Oh my
I
god.
want to see it so bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not doing this, but we might do that because we're having.
I'm surprised SCD hasn't already pushed one up.
I know, yeah.
Throwing, so like, why not? They just like, they didn't like, they put that on the free Friday. That's right. They did.
Okay, so
Yeah,
basically, like, if we-
wedding, it was a little rude, I wanted to do it. And now I came for the board riding.
What were you saying, Shrita?
based off of like what we just discussed right now, we should have a cute thing that needs to happen. And so I mean, I think it's all been sent out to you. If you can all like go through and just RSVPS as if you can, like please come, like please come. But just go through the Go plan. So first, if you could go back right now and go to be amazing. And then second, any co-mates that we have
For what?
for this event. Because right now it's like Halloween being SGA, GPM, or an October event or something.
That's the idea. Yeah, you can just put SGA meet and greet.
Get to know your reps or something like that. I don't know.
It's creative, like, what is
This is all of SGA, right? Not just finance board.
It's all SGA, or what if you do like keeping up with SGA? SGA.
I like that.
I feel like it should be like.
Yeah, it should be something.
But like if we do nothing with Halloween, then it's like we don't know.
That's not be disappointing.
No, we all do our background Halloween theme.
Yes, I like that. Can we do that? Because it's all lights. Technically can, yeah.
Yeah, let's have everyone.
That's the requirement costume.
Yeah. Oh my god, we should do actually virtual haunted house here. Not the scariest. Costumes are welcome.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing that I'm dressing up and sitting in front of the camera.
That's too dark. That makes me this.
That's fine. Let's just go with it.
Okay.
So wait, keeping up with the SGA.
Keeping up with SPO was on
Keeping up with SGA. But it's not even reps. We're technically the only reps here.
Oh, it's we're all like represented.
Eat your SGA plus eat your SGA. You guys are reps, but senators.
Oh, yeah.
So just opposite.
The representatives.
Keeping up with it.
I mean, officers is fine.
Yeah,
Keeping
I
up
like
with SGA. Okay, but like that's like
That's kind of lame.
yeah.
I think having a party group, but it doesn't need to be cute. I mean, it's like small. If you're like we're going in person, I would get it, but like we're on.
Yeah. Okay, but at the end of the day, if I say meet you through with SGA, you don't.
Well, that's what it is.
But no one's gonna show up.
I don't think anyone's gonna show up anywhere. It's fall weekend. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's also 5 to 6 p.m.
What?
Friday.
Friday at 5 to 6.
Friday 29th.
It's the meeting.
What if we do a costume contest?
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Full on.
I'll actually dress up for that.
No, I don't want anything.
Bob the builder.
Not Bob, Bill.
No,
We should make everyone take a photo of their costume and send it to us so we can decide.
Fashion show.
Send it in the group chat. That way, don't join it. But just see it.
Yeah, I don't think people are gonna call it less. Like, I'm sorry, I would call.
That's what I'm thinking, like, I wasn't at church. I'm be in the car.
Devin likes my idea.
Let's just do background. Background. Like, anyone can do background, they're more than welcome to, but like all the time, if you're starting, we'll just do like some sort of game and then we'll have like, what's a fun prize? Like, I was thinking if there are like 4 $4 Amazon gift cards, or we can do like AirPods since within the like 200.
Just one thing, a AirPod.
AirPods for the contest.
But you do well, SG officers don't get it, right?
I do now.
Wait, if you only say 200, 300, you should do gift cards multiple.
Yeah, if we do like if we do one pair of AirPods, it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not home.
Yeah, let's do 4 gift cards.
More people will come.
Doesn't care about AirPods.
If no one shows up, can she still win?
Yeah, can we?
Can that be a rule?
No,
We have to get the money.
y'all get money.
Can we get it back? We get the money back. Are you gonna give the money back? AirPod? Not my money, but the money that we would have won.
Probably hold on for it. Like just gift cards, you probably just have no.
That's right.
Yeah, 4 gift cards, yeah.
Okay, that's just reminded me, yeah, 20.
Never mind. Can we use our budgetary?
No.
No?
Is it not?
Okay, can you like, my computer's about that.
Oh my.
We watch right there.
So I put in the chat that our game decided what to do, right, like, census for that.
Okay.
And then Halloween backgrounds are welcome instead of like the contest, and then the prize is like 4 or 3 Amazon gift cards.
Okay, name, someone just text me a name.
Oh. Scary.
SGA meet and greet. Potential to win prizes.
Actually, we here.
We can
that's
pick up
Mary.
You could always just ask the marketing team too.
Yeah.
If they have any ideas.
Okay, got it.
That's it.
Unless Mershad specifically said for they need to come back to me with a name. Like this is also clearly like a group thing. Like it's not just finance board's responsibility if it's all of SGA.
Technically it is. So like we're switching off 3 months. So instead it's next month. But
Fright night.
Wendy and Risa. Oh, sorry, Wendy. Fright night? Witches night out, gals night out, those some gimlets.
She's on mine.
Stay from here.
Friday, false advertisement.
Yeah.
It'd be scary fun.
Probably hang out with them.
Spooky.
No, okay, no, we're not doing anything Halloween themed, that's, or actually, we'll be there for our team. Okay, perfect.
Already like the months, so.
Wait, I vote to do that.
She ain't partying like a monster.
Okay, moving on. Okay, so the last thing on our agenda, as you guys can see, it's just a liaison check-in. So you can just go around the room and just like update on like how liaisoning is going. But we're gonna start off with everyone just telling us about the email he started.
It's pretty simple. I've sent out the template, like 4 different templates. We're gonna send them out like every 5 days. Because Candace and I had a check-in and we talked about how we passed a lot of work since the deadline. So we're just pushing as hard as we can. So every 5 days we'll be sending out a reminder, all of us, and that's pretty much it. And hopefully they won't have a reason to miss it, because that's a lot of reminders. You know.
I would suggest, sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
I'd suggest copying presidents on it also,
That's what I do, yeah.
if you don't already do that. Just because sometimes we get clubs where the president thinks things are happening and the treasurer's not doing them, and then the president comes mad at us, when in reality, there was a lack of communication. So I'm a big proponent of just copying everyone, even though it's one person's responsibility, so that way the whole board knows.
I love that. I agree.
I've been doing that for my emails. I just have a president and the treasurer. Just
60 something, you can only do like
50.
40, 50, right? So I have 60. If I do president's entry.
Yeah.
Put them in the same email.
Yeah.
Put them in the same, but like the names, like, use,
Is the word
both the emails basically, is what I'm trying to say.
is the word CC to like add a CC column to the
Is that possible?
Or just set up 2 different emails. That's what I do.
If you're doing a mail mode, just having on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could manually go through and like share, like send it to the president as well. Yeah, I'll do that. We have to wait like a day in between. Yeah,
I don't think Lexi's on 60 some, 50.
50, and that's it.
Oh yeah, and it was a thing like you can only send how many merges? Like you can only
50 a day.
Should be it there.
50 a day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
50 over 2 days. Yeah.
okay.
Way more emails than that a day sometimes.
Yeah, but, in terms of liaisoning, it's going pretty well. I just need some FIAs to help me out a bit. But yeah, kidding. But yeah.
No, yeah, no.
Are they active?
So Mario's on the floor right now. When we're going look past the or even like right now, Mario, if you could real quick just like unmute and like introduce yourself, because I really want to like us to be acquainted in terms of finance or the FYIs that we
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Amaria. I'm a freshman, poli-sci and pre-law major. Yeah.
we can one could you add into the WebEx space?
Sure.
Or finance board, or I could do it also eventually, but generally yeah, generally we just want to like keep that FYIs like in the loop and just let you guys have some sort of responsibility as well and like be a part of everything because you're here to learn research. So
I think the committees are a big part of that. So once we get the committees instituted, both of you can kind of get a part in that, or just Amari is really involved.
okay, perfect. So that's the liaison stuff. We do check in a sec, but I have one question for Tori that we were actually discussing earlier on. I think it was Akira, Manju, and I were discussing earlier. But so club, we still email club sports and like fraternities and sororities. Like, what's the point of emailing them about like budget deadlines if they can't?
They can. Yes. So they're limited funding, but that doesn't mean they're not allowed to request from finance board. So limited funding orgs can request from finance board. They're just a little more restricted in what they can ask for. on-campus events that are open to everyone. So for example, one of the sororities used to do, this was like my first year here and they stopped after that, but they used to do a haunted house on campus that was free for all undergraduate students that SGA funded. So they threw it on, but that was finance board funded. So if they are coming to the board asking for things like that, they are free to be funded for that. Club sports couldn't come and be like, club sports is a little more restrictive because they have a budget for their day-to-day. So if they were asking for funds for travel or for competition, stuff like that, that'd be a big no. But Ultimate Frisbee used to come in with merchandise and marketing that would come through here. So they can request for stuff. It's just much more restrictive. If club sports are responding, being like, my day-to-day budget, that goes to Kristen Alexander. So this is like supplemental things. 9 times out of 10, they're never going to have anything that comes through. Very rarely does do any of them, but typically, from time to time, Ultimate Frisbee and Women's Ultimate Frisbee will put in some requests, and DST put in a lot last year. Maybe not last year, but the last year we were on campus. But they do put requests in. They're just limited to what they can request for. On the answer, but
And they probably have their attendant further training, right? Because they think they can.
potentially, I mean, some of them just don't because they know they're not going to use finance board. So, I mean, if there aren't many people coming through finance board, it's because they're probably not trying to request anything. Feel like we probably have on average, and I'm really being generous with this number, maybe 50 orgs that come through. It's just those orgs usually ask for a lot of money.
So I can do a real quick check-in.
Yeah, so we can on it.
So I sent the email today about submitting your budget plan by the 20th. I have answered 7 people, and I answered 7 people in like 15 minutes. Other than that, there hasn't really been any real like questions regarding anything coming up. Honestly, this is the first time that anybody from my organization has talked to me in like a couple weeks. So I think everything on that end is pretty straight. A lot of them are like pretty straightforward questions about what can we ask for. A lot of stuff they think they need to ask for now is really stuff they can ask for later through like a Shasta request. So I've been informing them about that along the lines of my sports clubs that hit me up. They really just said the same thing that Tori just said. They asked if they have to. And my response has been no, because they get all their money through Christian. So that's really about it for me.
Oh yeah. It's very much like the same for me because like I got your email template last night and I was like, it's really helpful. And I'm sure mine would. So I started working on it last night. But like not a lot of my club. Super kind of doubt that thing, but I always try to think about reality. And that's pretty much it. Like I've been hoping like if all of them were to like respond to the emails. I had a lot of things. It's probably because you don't have to. It would have been better if there were an email. Say, oh my God.
Well, I agree. And like the biggest concern is the budget deadline. So as long as like those orgs that need to submit it, that's all that matters. And the fact that you're sending out these reminders shows that like they've had enough time beforehand to make sure that they get it in before the deadline. So that's like the big concern. I think and on top of that, that's what matters.
I was just gonna say, I wouldn't bank on getting responses, even if they're not going to use you. That's just what's happening is typical. So don't take it personally. That's just how it typically goes.
So I just met with, Dawson, I think his name is, like, he was for ASU.
Yeah.
He had some questions, so we met over WebEx, talked about that. Sent out well, I'll send it out tomorrow because I reached the max for my mail version. So I'll send it tomorrow, but yeah.
He lives like really close to me, so he asked me a lot of stuff too, but like, asked me a lot of
Yes, he was, I told him, so I just kind of explained, like, he just had clarification and questions about like the treasurer meeting. So that's kind of just what I told him, he just wanted to know kind of the steps he needs to take. Yeah, pretty much, I told him he could email me.
I don't think you have anything. So I am sending out the email tonight that I will do. I kind of edited it a little bit to suit my email style a little bit, but the email will get sent tonight for me. And in terms of communication, I haven't had any. Like I've had one student org that like needed help with like data boring stuff, but I was like, that's not mine. That's a dude. So I just pointed them towards him, and yeah, I honestly haven't had like any communication the last 2 weeks. So
I think Fiona, we did.
yes. Okay. So Fiona and Devin, if you all wanna add in.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Okay. So I sent out the October emails just this morning. So, was on top of that. I got one email back from the women's volleyball team, which I've communicated with before. So I didn't know like how complex it was dealing with like I guess club sports teams since their tournaments with other club sports teams can't be funded. So that's something that I did have to tell them. They just had a question about where do ticket sales go when they do have tournaments. So that's something that I never come across. So apparently, I asked Candace, but she said it goes to their carryover account. So I just let them know that and just gave the contact information for ECS and SABSC if they wanted to just follow up on that. But that's been it so far. And I did like how Tori touched upon earlier to like highlight the steps or what happens next after we approve of an org's application, because I met with the Russian club last week and they had a lot of questions about like the whole process. So like what happens after they get funded, like who do they contact? So I think that's something that we should touch upon more when the officers are here while we review their applications so that they know what to do.
That's who's talking, right? You. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Fiona, just so you know, their ticket sales might not go to their carryover. That's gonna go to Kristen Alexander. So they need to, anything with their tickets and their actual budget for club sports, they need to be talking to Kristen Alexander. We don't typically oversee that. They have separate accounts with Kristen. So typically ticket sales, and this might be different for volleyball, but a lot of the times that goes into their fundraising. Yeah, so, but just a general knowledge question thing for everyone. Club sports have to fundraise 20% of their budget that they request from recreation. So a lot of times that type of stuff goes towards their fundraising cost. So not that that's really something you all will ever have to like come across, but just for general knowledge.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Type yeah at the beginning. Okay. Yeah. The liaison program has been going well for me. I sent out my October reminder email actually earlier today, this weekend. And I have, like, most of my orgs have already opened the email, so they're pretty much informed. I did receive an email from the Dance Council for Majors, again, about the treasurer meeting. They said that they couldn't make any of the meetings, and unfortunately, that means, you know, they weren't able to access either application. But if I remember correctly, I saw on my email that there's more treasurer meetings that are coming up, if I'm correct. But as far as I'm concerned, like, they won't be able to access any funding until they get their treasurer training done. But other than that, I haven't received any other like major response from any other clubs. And yeah, this was a great meeting, guys. I'm so excited to speak soon.
Yourself and a big.
I think I kind of did. Nothing's really happening. I've just been, there's this one org that just would not stop texting me. So that's been, don't give your number away. But if you do, and now he's asking me on the copy, and I haven't responded, but I will. But that's been interesting. But other than that, it's just been microscopic in terms of interactions. Also, if you have any questions, like don't hesitate to ask advisors or just in the general finance board group chat. Like that's always like my number one go-to, no matter how dumb it may seem. Like it's like sometimes it'll help other reps also. So I would highly recommend getting that done. But yeah, everything's good. And I'm not going to copy them.
We are still recording.
Maybe I'll say yes. I'll change my mind.
Okay, on that note, are there any motions to adjourn announcement below the
I will be I will do a 3-year announcement.
move to enter? You say move to enter. Are there any seconds?
We can actually do that for that. I don't mind if we need to just start to announcements. We need to. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're in. I know.
Yeah. I wonder what happened.
Okay, real quick, like I said, just please RSVP to like including meetings, like that would be very useful. Also, please RSVP to the GBM event. That would also be very useful. And I will update everyone on like in terms of what like communication is at, and hopefully get some out in terms of like Instagram posts or like actual other communication as things that communication does soon. Yeah, that's it. Does anyone have anything else to add?
Yeah, I would just say like in terms of the audio situation, I think like until it gets figured out, maybe like whoever's setting it up should just come 15 minutes early, get it done.
I was trying to, but I saw it before.
Yeah. Cause it's like every meeting we're like starting like 30 minutes late, or we could like, I mean,
I'll talk to Reese.
yeah, like, I think if you like try and catch Reese tonight.
We're going to test this with the comments when our meetings in like
Yeah, I went to a Senate meeting and they have it like perfectly worked.
I texted Reese right now, so
Oh.
respond.
Or also, we could also look there on you, and you can do it.
Sure.
By yourself.
If someone could maybe just go to Senate's meeting on Monday when they start. Ask them, or if Reese is able to be here a little bit early on a Tuesday just to show someone.
I'll text him or what else. Yeah, anything else? Oh, make sure you come out to the homecoming carnival tonight, or not tonight, or this weekend. Yeah, is it Saturday just?
It's Saturday.
Friday.
It's Friday.
Oh, it's Friday, what time? Friday.
No idea, I just know I'm gonna be here all day.
Saturday is like when it's like really.
I know it's Saturdays.
Saturday's the puppy parade also, 12 to 9.
At least for like, I've seen the times we left 5 to something on Friday. I'm not sure. Let's see.
They set it up.
It's both Friday and Saturday on the.
They don't want to be too, but they can only set it up.
For nothing else, we went to adjournment, but the other day, the here is fun, and on here fun. Mona, Devin, Fiona, and Aya are present. I think you, very much forgot the gavel, so we just do really good talking down and something else.
To adjourn.
Oh, I just. Carrie, you're speaking of definitely. But, just like pass the gavel, I just comments and a few words for people if you want.
Everything's good. I attended Leading Orgs yesterday, with Tori, and like
It was roundtable.
round table. I'm sorry, it was something, but it was actually really informative. So like if you get the chance, like I would attend one of those events. Like it's like really helpful. To, like it's like a refresher for you, but it's also like connecting with orgs themselves. So, yeah.
Last one is Wednesday, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Is it in person or?
Online.
So we have our finance board meeting.
Yeah, that's why I'm not there.
Fun. Can we move financial meeting? Is that weird?
Yeah.
We did once.
I don't schedule them.
Okay, that's happening to the leading board, you said.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Just email Candace.
I mean, also, I don't know, like, for you, and if we could do what we did last week.
Thursday?
We actually show up on time. We could do that.
I mean, Candace is out tomorrow, I'm pretty positive, so we could potentially move it.
So it's 9 AM. Okay, please, fine.
Look at that.
That's what we did last time, I think.
It was 9 a.m. on Thursday.
I didn't wake up, so.
We can talk about that later.
Aya has a question. She wants to know if we're done.
Yeah,